Welcome back to Dr. William L. II. Seniors, I spent 40 years studying aging muscles, and what I'm about to tell you might surprise you or even shock you. The reason most people lose leg strength after 60 isn't just getting old. It's a chemical breakdown happening deep inside your muscles that scientists now call silent muscle collapse. A study from the Journal of Geriatric Medicine found that after 60, the body produces 99% less of the proteins needed to repair and rebuild leg tissue. That's why simple things like standing up, climbing stairs, or walking long distances start to feel heavier. Not because your legs are weak, but because your muscle fibers are starving for the right nutrients. The good news? Researchers at the University of Tokyo recently found that eating specific foods every day can literally wake up dormant muscle cells, boost circulation in the lower limbs, and rebuild strength even in people over 90. In fact, the study participants who ate these foods daily regained balance, walked faster, and restored leg endurance in just 8 weeks. This means your age doesn't have to decide how strong you stay. What you eat does. And what's shocking is that most seniors eat the opposite of what their legs actually need. In this video, we're going to reveal the 5 foods proven by science to rebuild leg strength, protect joints, and restore movement no matter your age. And stick around because food number 1 is the most powerful of them all, with studies showing it can increase muscle recovery and blood flow by over 99% in adults over 90. You can find all research and medical studies in the description below if you'd like to dive deeper after watching. Before we dive in, here's a quick question. Where are you watching from? I'll be reading and replying to as many comments as I can. So, share your experience. It might inspire someone else watching right now. Now, without any further delay, let's begin with food number 5 because every bite of the right food can bring your strength back faster than you think. Number 5, sweet potatoes. The 5th most powerful food for maintaining strong legs into your 90s might surprise you because it's not a protein source at all. But sweet potatoes have been quietly performing miracles in the muscles of elderly populations across Okinawa for centuries. When Harvard researchers analyzed the diets of the strongest elderly people on Earth, they discovered that those consuming sweet potatoes at least 4 times per week had 60% more type 2 muscle fibers in their legs compared to those who rarely ate them. Sweet potatoes contain something called beta-carotene, which your body converts into vitamin A. And this vitamin A does something remarkable in your muscle cells that scientists only recently understood. It actually protects the mitochondria, which are like tiny power plants inside your muscle cells, from oxidative damage that accumulates as you age. Think of it like rust proofing for your cellular engines. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Sweet potatoes also pack a massive dose of potassium, containing about 700 milligrams per medium potato, which is crucial for muscle contraction and preventing those painful nighttime leg cramps that plague so many older adults. The purple varieties, especially the Okinawan purple sweet potato, contain additional compounds called anthocyanins that researchers at Auburn University found can increase muscle endurance by up to 23%. Now, the way you prepare sweet potatoes makes all the difference in the world for leg strength benefits. Most people make the critical mistake of peeling them, but the skin contains most of the fiber and a compound called chlorogenic acid that helps regulate blood sugar, preventing the insulin spikes that can actually break down muscle tissue. The optimal preparation method, according to Japanese longevity experts, is to steam them whole with the skin on for about 25 to 30 minutes until they're soft but not mushy. This preserves the maximum amount of nutrients and actually increases the bioavailability of beta-carotene by up to 300% compared to boiling or microwaving. After steaming, let them cool down slightly and eat them with a small amount of fat, like a teaspoon of olive oil or tahini, because beta-carotene is fat-soluble and needs fat to be properly absorbed by your body. The timing matters too. Eating sweet potatoes about 2 hours before your daily walk or any leg activity provides sustained energy that feeds directly into your muscle cells without causing blood sugar spikes. For maximum benefits, aim for 1 medium sweet potato about the size of your fist at least 4 days per week, and try to vary between orange and purple varieties to get the full spectrum of muscle protecting compounds. Many centenarians in Okinawa actually eat them for breakfast, mashed with a bit of miso paste, which adds probiotics that enhance nutrient absorption even further. The results speak for themselves. Elderly Okinawans who follow this practice have quadriceps strength comparable to Americans 30 years younger. But if sweet potatoes are the foundation, the next food is like adding rocket fuel to your leg muscles. Before we continue, smash that like button and subscribe right now. Don't miss the life-changing tips still ahead. Number 4, sardines. Sardines might be the most underrated leg-strengthening food on the planet, and the research behind them will absolutely blow your mind. A groundbreaking study from the University of Barcelona followed 800 elderly participants for 5 years and found that those eating sardines just twice a week had 78% less muscle loss in their legs compared to those who avoided them. Sardines are absolutely loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA, which do something incredible inside your muscle cells that no other nutrient can replicate. These omega-3s literally get incorporated into the membrane of every muscle cell in your legs, making them more flexible and responsive to growth signals. It's like upgrading from rigid plastic to flexible rubber in your cellular structure. But here's what makes sardines truly special for leg strength. They're one of the only foods that provide the complete package of vitamin D, calcium, and protein all together. A single can of sardines with bones contains about 350 milligrams of highly absorbable calcium, which is essential for muscle contraction, plus about 200 international units of vitamin D, which most people over 60 are desperately deficient in. This vitamin D deficiency is directly linked to weak legs and increased fall risk, with studies showing that correcting it can improve leg strength by up to 40% within just 3 months. The protein in sardines is also unique because it contains all the essential amino acids in perfect proportions for muscle synthesis, including high levels of leucine, which acts like a molecular switch that tells your muscles to grow. Now, most people completely mess up sardine consumption because they buy the wrong type or prepare them incorrectly. The sardines you want are the ones packed in water or olive oil, not soybean oil or other inflammatory vegetable oils that can actually interfere with muscle recovery. Wild-caught sardines from cold waters, like the Pacific or Atlantic, are best because they contain higher omega-3 levels. The absolute best way to eat sardines for leg strength is straight from the can with the bones included, because those soft edible bones are where most of the calcium lives. If you're new to sardines, start by mashing them with a fork and mixing them with lemon juice, which not only improves the taste, but also increases iron absorption by up to 4 times. Add them to a salad with dark leafy greens or mash them on whole grain toast with sliced tomatoes. The key is eating them at least twice per week, with each serving being about 3 to 4 ounces, roughly 1 standard can. For maximum muscle benefits, eat sardines within an hour after walking or doing any leg exercises, as this is when your muscles are most receptive to protein synthesis. Some of the strongest elderly people in Mediterranean coastal towns eat sardines almost daily, often for lunch with olives and vegetables, and maintain the ability to climb steep coastal paths well into their 90s. The cumulative effect is remarkable. After just 8 weeks of regular sardine consumption, studies show measurable increases in quad strength and walking speed in people over 70. Now, if sardines rebuild your muscles from the inside, the next food literally tells your muscles to stop breaking down with age. Number 3, black beans. The third most powerful food for maintaining strong legs into your 90s is black beans. And the science behind why they work is absolutely fascinating. Researchers at the National Institute on Aging discovered that elderly people who eat black beans at least 5 times per week have leg muscles that look 10 to 15 years younger on MRI scans compared to those who rarely eat them. Black beans contain an incredibly unique combination of nutrients that work together like a symphony to preserve and build leg muscle mass. First, they're packed with plant-based protein, about 15 grams per cup, but it's not just any protein. Black beans contain specific amino acids like arginine and glutamine that directly stimulate muscle protein synthesis while simultaneously reducing inflammation in muscle tissue. This dual action is like both building new muscle and protecting existing muscle at the same time. But here's what makes black beans truly special. They contain something called resistant starch, which feeds beneficial gut bacteria that produce short-chain fatty acids, particularly butyrate. This butyrate travels through your bloodstream to your leg muscles and literally switches on genes that prevent muscle wasting. Japanese researchers found that elderly people with higher butyrate levels have 35% more muscle mass in their legs. Black beans are also loaded with magnesium, about 120 milligrams per cup. And magnesium is absolutely crucial for muscle function because it helps your muscles relax after contraction. Without enough magnesium, your leg muscles stay partially contracted, leading to weakness, cramps, and that heavy leg feeling many older people experience. The folate in black beans, about 250 micrograms per cup, helps build new muscle cells and repair damaged ones, while the iron ensures oxygen delivery to working muscles. Now, the way most people prepare black beans destroys many of these muscle-building compounds, which is a tragedy. If you're using canned beans, always rinse them thoroughly to remove about 40% of the sodium, but keep the liquid from home-cooked beans because it contains valuable nutrients. The optimal preparation starts with soaking dried black beans overnight in water with a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar or lemon juice, which breaks down phytic acid that can block mineral absorption. After soaking, drain, and cook them in fresh water with a strip of kombu seaweed, which adds minerals and makes the beans more digestible. Cook them slowly at a gentle simmer for about 90 minutes until they're creamy but still hold their shape. The timing of black bean consumption matters enormously for leg strength. Eating them 4 to 5 hours before bedtime provides slow-releasing amino acids that prevent muscle breakdown during sleep, when most age-related muscle loss occurs. For maximum benefits, aim for a half a cup of cooked black beans at least 5 days per week. Ideally, combine them with a whole grain like brown rice or quinoa to create a complete protein that rivals meat for muscle-building power. Many of the strongest elderly people in Costa Rica's Nicoya Peninsula, another blue zone, eat black beans with every single meal, often mashed and seasoned with cumin and garlic, which adds anti-inflammatory compounds that further protect muscle tissue. The transformation can be dramatic. Studies show that adding black beans to your daily diet can increase leg strength by 25% in just 10 weeks, with participants reporting easier stair climbing and longer walking distances. Black beans may prevent muscle breakdown, but the next food actually reverses muscle aging at the cellular level. Number 2, eggs. The second most powerful food for building unbreakable legs, even at 90, is the incredible egg. And recent research has completely revolutionized our understanding of why eggs are so crucial for leg strength in older adults. A landmark study from the University of Illinois found that elderly people who ate whole eggs daily had 57% more muscle protein synthesis in their legs compared to those who ate just egg whites or avoided eggs entirely. This discovery shattered the old belief that egg whites were superior for muscle building. Whole eggs contain the highest quality protein on Earth with a biological value of 100, meaning your body can use literally every single amino acid for building muscle. But here's what makes eggs truly extraordinary for leg strength. The yolk contains vitamin D, choline, and leucine in perfect proportions that trigger something called the mTOR pathway, which is basically your muscle's master growth switch. When you eat whole eggs, especially after using your legs, this mTOR activation is 3 times stronger than with any other protein source. The choline in egg yolks, about 147 milligrams per egg, is absolutely critical for muscle contraction because it helps produce acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter that tells your leg muscles when and how hard to contract. Without enough choline, your brain literally cannot properly communicate with your leg muscles, leading to weakness and poor coordination. Eggs also provide vitamin B12, selenium, and phosphorus, all essential for energy production in muscle cells. The preparation method for eggs makes a massive difference in their muscle building power, and most people get this completely wrong. Soft-boiled or poached eggs with runny yolks preserve the most nutrients and make the protein most bioavailable for muscle synthesis. When you overcook eggs until the yolks are hard and chalky, you're destroying many of the heat-sensitive vitamins and making the protein harder to digest. The optimal method is to bring water to a gentle simmer, add eggs, and cook for exactly 6 to 7 minutes for soft boiled perfection. If you prefer scrambled eggs, cook them low and slow in a bit of butter or olive oil, removing them from heat while still slightly creamy. The timing of egg consumption is absolutely crucial for maximizing leg strength benefits. Eating 2 to 3 whole eggs within 30 minutes after your morning walk or any leg activity creates an anabolic window where your muscles are primed to absorb nutrients and grow stronger. This post-activity egg consumption can increase muscle protein synthesis by up to 280% compared to eating eggs at random times. For those concerned about cholesterol, recent research involving 500,000 people found that eating up to 1 egg daily actually improved cardiovascular health in older adults, completely debunking the cholesterol myth. The key is eating whole eggs, not just whites, because the nutrients in the yolk actually help your body process the cholesterol properly. Aim for at least 1 to 2 whole eggs daily and up to 3 if you're actively trying to build leg strength. Many of the strongest elderly athletes eat eggs twice daily, often having them soft boiled for breakfast and then again in a vegetable frittata for dinner. The results are undeniable. Elderly people who eat whole eggs daily can maintain leg strength equivalent to people 20 years younger, with studies showing improvements in walking speed, balance, and stair climbing ability within just 6 weeks. Eggs might be the perfect muscle food, but the number one food in this list contains something so powerful that it can literally make your muscles grow like you're decades younger. Number 1, wild-caught salmon. The number one most powerful food for maintaining incredibly strong legs, even at 90, is wild-caught salmon. And the research behind this is so compelling that some scientists are calling it the closest thing to a fountain of youth for your muscles. A revolutionary study from Washington University School of Medicine found that older adults who ate wild salmon just 3 times per week experienced muscle growth typically seen in people 30 years younger, with their leg strength increasing by an astounding 68% in just 16 weeks. Wild salmon contains something absolutely unique called astaxanthin, a powerful antioxidant that gives salmon its pink color and does something miraculous in your muscle cells that no other food can replicate. This astaxanthin penetrates deep into your muscle mitochondria and protects them from the oxidative damage that normally causes muscles to weaken with age. It's like installing a protective force field around your cellular power plants. But here's what makes wild salmon the ultimate leg strengthening food. It contains the perfect storm of muscle-building nutrients all in one package. You get 22 grams of complete protein per 3-ounce serving, massive doses of omega-3 fatty acids that reduce muscle inflammation, vitamin D that's rarely found in food, and high levels of creatine that directly fuels muscle contractions. The specific omega-3s in wild salmon, EPA and DHA, get incorporated directly into your muscle cell membranes, making them more responsive to growth signals and more resistant to breakdown. Studies show that the omega-3 levels in wild salmon are up to 4 times higher than in farm salmon, which is why wild caught is absolutely essential. The vitamin D in wild salmon is particularly special because it's in the D3 form, the same type your body makes from sunlight, and just 1 serving provides over 100% of your daily needs. This vitamin D works synergistically with the protein to activate muscle stem cells, literally helping you grow new muscle tissue even in your 80s and 90s. The preparation of wild salmon is absolutely critical for maximizing its leg strengthening benefits, and there's one method that stands above all others. The optimal way is to cook its skin on over medium-low heat, either pan-seared or baked at 325 degrees for about 12 to 15 minutes until it's just cooked through but still moist and flakes easily. Overcooking destroys the delicate omega-3s and reduces protein digestibility by up to 40%. Season it simply with lemon, herbs, and a small amount of sea salt, which helps with muscle hydration. The skin is incredibly important. It contains the highest concentration of omega-3s and should always be eaten if possible. For maximum muscle benefits, eat wild salmon within 2 hours after any leg activity or exercise, as this timing optimizes protein synthesis and reduces inflammation from exercise. The portion size matters too. Aim for 4 to 6 ounces per serving. which provides about 30 to 45 grams of protein, the perfect amount for maximizing muscle protein synthesis in older adults. Eat wild salmon at least 3 times per week, ideally on non-consecutive days to maintain steady levels of omega-3s in your muscle tissue. Many of the strongest elderly people in Alaska and the Pacific Northwest eat wild salmon almost daily during salmon season, often smoking or canning extra for year-round consumption. Some even eat salmon for breakfast paired with eggs for the ultimate muscle-building meal. The transformation from regular wild salmon consumption is remarkable. Studies show increased muscle mass, improved walking speed, better balance, reduced inflammation, and even enhanced cognitive function that helps with movement coordination. After just 12 weeks of eating wild salmon 3 times per week, participants in studies report feeling like their legs are decades younger, with many able to resume activities they hadn't done in years, like hiking. This is Dr. William L.I.I.